Hey guys, so today we're going to make these owl gloves. As you can tell, there's a little crocheted owl on there. Don't know how well you guys can see it. The back is just regular double crochet and then half double crochet at the bottom and at the top. So the pattern is different based on the left or the right hand. I've already got the left hand made, so I'm going to make the right hand. There's a PDF for download in the description box below that you need to download. So you can make both hands. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is chain 25 stitches. So after you've chained 25 stitches, you're going to skip the first chain and do 24 half double crochets down the row. Alright, so now that you've got 24 half double crochets, I joined the round here. I find it easier than joining the chains in the round. So I'm just going to fold it in half and then half double crochet into that first half double crochet. So you don't even chain one. Alright, now I'm just going to half double crochet around and around and around in the continuous round until your cuff is as long as you want. I do about 2.5 inches. So you're just going to half double crochet around and around. When your cuff is the desired length, we're going to bring this back down to be flush with it. So I'm going to do one single crochet and 2 slip stitches. This is going to be the start of your new round. And you'll just cinch this part up with the tail. So we're going to start out by chaining 2, and I don't count chains as stitches. And then we're going to do 24 double crochets all the way around. Alright, so now we're going to slip stitch into the top of that very first double crochet, the chain 2. So slip stitch into the top of your chain 2. And now we're going to repeat this row. So chain 2 and do 24 double crochets. When you get back to the beginning, you're going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 2. Alright guys, so we finally have the cuff done, and we're going to start on the cabling portion of the right glove. So you're going to do chain 2, and in the very first stitch we're going to do 3 double crochets into this stitch, so an increase. And this is the start of our thumb gusset. Alright, now we're going to do 13 double crochets. 1, 2, now we're going to do 8 front post double crochets. So go into the front post. 1, we're going to finish this off with 2 double crochets. 1, 2. And then we're going to slip stitch into the top of this chain 2. That's the end of round 5. For round 6, we're going to chain 2. We're going to do 2 double crochet in this very first stitch, so an increase. And then 2 double crochet in the next stitch, in the same stitch, so another increase. It looks like I messed up. So 4 stitches in 2 stitches. And now we're going to do 14 double crochets. Alright, and now we're going to cable. We're going to cable 2 back first. So here are the 4 stitches we're working with. We're going to grab these first 2 with a front post double crochet. And then we're going to go back and grab these 2. But we're going to go from behind. So this is kind of hard to do. So what I do is I pull these stitches out. And then I just go in from behind. And get the first one. And then the second one. And that's a cable 2 back. These stitches will be in front and the other 2 stitches will be in back. And now we're going to cable 2 front, which is a lot easier. So you're going to grab, skip 2 stitches, and then front post double crochet the next 2 stitches, and then we're going to go back and get these stitches from the front.
Mommy, I know. Mommy, mommy, mommy.
So now these stitches will be the first pair of stitches will be in the front, and the second pair will be in the back. And now we're just going to double crochet 2 stitches.
Hi, I'm mommy, 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 mommy.
And then we're going to slip stitch into the top of this chain 2. And that ends round 6. Alright, we're going to go on to round 7. So you're going to chain 2 and do 2 double crochets in the same stitch for your increase. Then we're going to do 2 double crochets. And then 2 double crochets in the same stitch again for another increase. Alright, now we're going to do 14 double crochets. And now we're going to do 8 front post double crochets. So So we're not going to twist any stitches, but we're just going to work them out. Front post double crochet, front post double crochet, and you're going to finish that off with just 2 regular double crochets. And slip stitched into the top of the chain 2. Alright, now we're going to go on to round 9. We're going to start this off by chaining 2. And then we're going to do an increase, so 2 double crochets in the same stitch. And then 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then your last increase, 2 double crochets in the same stitch. 1, 2. All right, then you're going to do 14 double crochets. 1, all right, and then you're going to do 8 front post double crochets. So the same thing as we did last round, just front post double crochet 8 times. And you're going to finish that off with just 2 regular double crochets. But instead of slip stitching into the chain 2 like we normally do, we're going to skip all of these stitches. And we're going to slip stitch into this stitch. So we're going to skip 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're going to slip stitch into this 9th stitch, because we're forming the thumb gusset. And you'll have to go back in and weave in this little piece right here. But there's your thumb gusset done. And we're not going to be working this little area right here again. Alright, we're going to go on to round 9. You're going to chain 2.
Down.
And do 14 double crochets.
Down.
So after the 14 stitches, we're going to cable again. The first thing we're going to do is cable 2 front. So skip 2 stitches and front post double crochet into the next 2 stitches. And then we're going to go back to these stitches, but with our yarn held in front, so they come in front of the other 2, and front post double crochet them. So it looks like this. Then we're going to cable again. We're going to skip these 2 stitches and go into these 2. Front post double crochet them. And now we're going to go back and get these 2 stitches. And this is kind of hard, because you've got to go back in here and grab them. And so that looks like this when you're done, and you're just going to finish off with 2 double crochets, and make sure you don't get the thumb gusset. And then slip stitch into the top of your chain 2. And that's the end of round 9. We're going to go on to round 10. So for round 10, you chain 2 and you start off with 14 double crochets. Now for round 10, after you've done those 14 double crochets, you're simply going to front post double crochet 8 stitches. And then finish it off with just 2 regular double crochets. And then you're going to slip stitch in the top of that chain 2. And we're going to go on to round 11. So for round 11, you start off with the chain 2 and 14 double crochets. After those 14 double crochets, we're going to cable one more time. So we're going to cable to front. So go in, skip 2 stitches, front post double crochet 2 stitches. And now we're going to go back and grab these 2. Front post double crochet those 2 stitches. Then we're going to cable 2 back. So front post double crochet these 2 stitches after skipping 2. Then go back and grab these 2 stitches here. And then simply finish off with 2 regular double crochet stitches. And slip stitch into the top of your chain 2. Alright, we're going to go on to round 12. We're going to chain 2 and do the regular 14 double crochets. Alright, and now we're just going to do 8 front post double crochets. And then finishing off with 2 double crochets. And slip stitch into the top. Now that's the finished owl, except for with the embroidery on the eyes. But we're going to do a top. I do 2 rounds of half double crochet. So for rounds 13 and 14, I chain 1, and I'm going to do 24 half double crochets, 1 in each stitch around. When you get back to the beginning, you're just going to slip stitch into the top of that first half double crochet. And chain 1. And then I always do another round of half double crochet. So 24 more half double crochets all the way around. When you get back to the beginning, just simply slip stitch in the top of your very first half double crochet. And then I like to chain 1 before I cut my yarn just to make sure it's all nice and tight. And then we're going to weave in all the ends. Don't forget to weave this up and to tie a bit of yarn here to weave this up. And then I'll show you how to embroider your eyes. Alright, now for the eyes, I put them right in the center of this twist right here. And I just use some white or cream colored yarn. Then I will flip it inside out and tie a very loose knot. You don't want to pull on it a lot. So I'll tie a loose knot. And cut it. Then I'm going to use this piece of yarn to do the same thing on the other eye.